So in today's video, we're just going to have some fun showing off Ascended Rank 2 Arcade on the CCP beta. I haven't actually gotten him on the live server Ascended yet, just eagerly awaiting when I eventually do from the box, because at least it's a bit more guaranteed than the actual crystal of being able to get him, which is super nice. I just have to, of course, open enough 7 stars to do so. And then hopefully we'll pull him a second and I think a third time, be able to get into Ascension level 2 at that point, which is definitely far down the road, but we're able to show some Ascension level 2 gameplay on the beta, and because he's my favorite champion, basically, I just wanted to show him off anyway, even at the level 2. Even though I've been showing pretty much all the other champs off at level 1 because they're more common to, of course, acquire at level 1. But I just wanted to have some fun, basically, with Arcade in this video and take him to his maximum possible potential outside of rank 5. I wouldn't be able to do rank 5 on the beta yet unless I actually had him rank 5 in the live server, and I do not have a rank 5 champion on my live server at this time. So, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next gene here, and this is against a, like a 700,000 health pool gene. So we're going up in health pools for a couple of these genes at first, starting with, of course, the BG's health pool, and this one's about 700,000 health pool. And Arcade, once he gets the opponent in the corner, he starts melting them with poisons very effectively, and he's able to do some pretty decent numbers against some larger health pools as well. Once you're able to get them in the corner and ideally keep them in the corner, it kind of depends on how well you can do that to determine how good he's going to be for a fight, is if you can, of course, poison them and then keep them in the corner. And then here against Gene, we're going to go ahead and build up our might bar over time, of course. I don't even know if we reach the end of it by the time that Gene's dead, but you'll probably see it in the third Gene fight against the like 1.4 million health pool. And then you can see the might bar come into play, because the might bar acts like a vigor basically, and then once you reach the final part of it and you're in the iso burst mode, you're going to do a lot more damage with a vigor basically, and then it's gonna go ahead and jump on cooldown eventually, but then after it goes on cooldown the first time, it comes back faster every time after that. So basically, it takes a while to get your first iso burst, but then after your first one, you're going to get to iso burst faster after that. So here I have her in the corner again. Of course, we're going to start doing all the poison damage and stuff. None of these genes have inequity, like if she wouldn't in competitive modes, and I mention that because she is definitely a character who is tanky because of the inequity mastery, and fighting her in PvP is very different than fighting her on the beta where there's no masteries and stuff, but still, she still has the force field. She still has different ways of slowing the fight down. Also, the delirium, making it to where I'm getting my special attacks slower, is a very underrated defensive ability that she has as well. Because if I'm getting my special attacks slower, that's just generally making the fight last longer as well. So that's pretty interesting for sure. And then we'll move on to drop my special 2 here, and I'm in the iso burst mode at this point, so we're doing a pretty decent chunk of increased damage on all sources, which of course include DOT. And then as long as I'm striking Gene, the iso burst mode is paused, and as you can see, we can squeeze a lot of duration out of it. And then I'll drop another special 1 here, and that's going to essentially finish her off. Arcade does reduce the opponent's combat power rate by a bit. Instead of using Collar Tech, it's basically like a 7% combat power reduction per unique damage over time effect that he places on them. So yeah, you can reduce the amount of specials and power bars that Gene can get, of course, and that's useful against her because it just means we can wail on her in the corner a lot more. So here we're fighting Onslaught. Arcade's by no means a great Onslaught counter, but it's just a fun fight, as are most fights in this video. We're going to get Onslaught in the corner and then just go ahead and try to poison him to death, of course. I'm dropping special 1s into block because I don't want to place shocks on Onslaught, of course, because that would place a ridiculous amount of Neros on me. But I am non-metal, so I'm able to go ahead and remove the Nero shocks just by dashing back when they come from any other source. And then yeah, we'll just hit him in the corner, he's going to be getting poisons while he's in his special 1 animation, which is great. And then he's just going to die very shortly now. So that's a pretty decent fight. Again, he's not like a great counter to Onslaught or anything, but it's a matchup that works if you can get him in the corner. Getting the opponent in the corner is basically always the hardest part about playing arcade. And then once you actually get them there, it feels pretty simple to keep them there because they're going to want to drop their special attacks more when they're over the mine, meaning they're not just going to start to continue to push you away from the corner with basic attacks and stuff, because they are trying to be in that special animation a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and fight Domino next, and we're going to use one of Arcade's pre-fights in this one, where he's going to go ahead and double his own ability accuracy for all of his abilities and the parry mastery. So the only thing that Domino can do to crit fail me at that point is Dex and Relic abilities, which it's a little bit stupid that he doesn't include Dex and Relic abilities, as you can see there, in the list of things that he's going to double his ability accuracy in, but unfortunately that's not how it went, I guess. So he does take some crit fail if he tries to Dex Domino. He does take some crit fail if a Relic ability fails, but other than that, you know, everything's really simple, and Domino goes down pretty fast. We're going to go fight Gentle next, and this is a matchup, again, kind of like Onslaught. Like, it's a little bit difficult to get in the corner, but once you do, it's a pretty good time. I'm going to go ahead and push Gentle by hitting him into block a good bit, and that's not going to increase my combo meter, which is going to reduce the amount of time that, extend the amount of time it takes for him to be able to go unstoppable, which is helpful. So I'm just charging my heavy and doing all the poisons and stuff in the corner, and because I can just auto block whenever I want, if I'm charging my heavy, as long as I have 2 tokens, of course, then we can just do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit the unstoppable Gentle here, and again, auto block right there to save me right there after I charge my heavy attack. And then I'll go ahead and hit him back into the corner, go ahead and trigger the booby trap, stun him again, and again, we have to get him back in the corner, which isn't the easiest thing against Gentle because he does have animations that push him out relatively well, but everything's going pretty fine. And then he's going to drop probably just over a minute. Oh, it was just under a minute actually. So now we're going to go move outside of the mutant class. We're going to go fight Dr. Doom now. And if you saw my ordeal video with my villain team, you've seen me fight Doom with Arcade before, and of course 7-star Doom doesn't exist yet as of the time of releasing this video, but Arcade is still very good against Doom, and it might as well show it off for the one day when Doom probably comes out as a 7-star eventually. But I used one of the pre-fights there. I think I used the one that made me shock immune, which is very helpful because if I Dex, then Doom isn't going to be able to place the shock on me or anything. Of course, I am still vulnerable to Incinerates from his special 2, so hopefully I just don't get hit by that. But yeah, I even have the Steadfast as well, which is awesome, because then I can continue to charge my heavy attack with the Steadfast, and even if he drops a special 1 and it's unblockable, of course, well, I have the Steadfast. Of course, it can get staggered, so I need to watch that, but yeah, everything's going great here. I'll drop a special 2, which does more of the debuffs, and then he's back in the corner. We drop a special 2 here, and then he's going to drop. Obviously, just don't go crazy with the heavy attacks if he's got his aura active, because he is going to resist you, as you saw. So now we're going to go fight Nico, and this, we're just showing a lot of different versatility he has in his immunities with his pre-fights and stuff, because you can see we could be shock immune against Doom, we could be incinerate immune against Doom, we can be poison immune here against Nico. All of these things matter for these champions' kits, because that's a big defensive threat that they all have, is one of those debuffs. So not every time you're going to be able to be immune to both shock and incinerate at once. If you ramp up your pre-fights over the quest, then you can have 2 of them used at once, basically. So if I get 5 of my arcade tokens, the persistent charges, I think they're called persistent prize tickets. There I actually ate the special 2, but we get a crap ton of armor rating with the tokens and stuff, so that's nice. But if I ramp up my persistent prize tickets across the quest, we're going to be able to use more than 1 per fight. It's just for the first fight in a quest, you're only going to have 3 at the start, which means you can't double up unless you use the first and the second one, which is definitely useful still. You can still use the first and the second one for certain nodes which might need countering or anything, but you won't be able to use the third one with your first or your second, because you just won't have enough of the prize tickets yet. But again, after you win a fight with Arcade and stuff, then you'll be fine. So next up, we're going to go fight Future Ant-Man. This is another one where he's got a kind of a unique ability coming from the pre-fight. Future Ant-Man does reduce the duration of bleed and incinerate effects on him by 90% from his SIG ability, but with Arcade, we can use a pre-fight, which is the last one, that makes it to where our damage over time debuffs can't have their durations reduced. And of course, once I go to Special 2, you're going to see the full duration coming from Arcade's Special 2 debuffs and stuff. Furthermore, he doesn't really need to worry about attacks glancing, because all your damage is really coming from the cloud, which is not something that is going to be reduced by ability accuracy. If you can use the first pre-fight, like in a quest or something, definitely do it, because some of the Special 2 debuffs can still fail and stuff. But again, relying on poisons is just fine, because it's not an actual ability that's tied to a hit. And actually, I don't even go for a Special 2 here, because he actually power drained me, but clearly I don't need to, because we can just utilize the poisons to kill him, and we still do that fight in under a minute. But yeah, if you were able to use the first and the third pre-fights, those would be super awesome, for that fight, because then you don't need to worry about your on-hit debuffs failing, like the Special 2 Bleed and Incinerate and the Special 1 Shocks. So here we're going to go fight Serpent. Now, I did this video last week, where I showed him against Serpent and Dark Phoenix, and just the lunacy that this champion does against some Cosmics. If they can poison, Arcade is just somehow a decent option, because he gets a lot of armor rating from these Arcade tokens. Like, it's kind of worth mentioning how tanky he's going to get as soon as you get those tokens up, because he can block like crazy once he gets them up, because his armor rating again is just so high. And then against Serpent here, he roots himself during his Special 2, and he's just got his foot right over the cloud there, so we can continue to just poison him to death. And of course, like, this matchup isn't perfect or anything. You still have to deal with his power gain and stuff, but at least you're able to reduce his combat power rate by a little bit, and you're able to do a lot of damage that isn't tied to hits, so he's taking a lot of damage when he's in those special animations, because of course he's in those special animations quite often, so if you can do damage while he's in them, that's super helpful. And then of course I have the Steadfast here, which is also going to be useful, because of course if he drops a Special 1 or a Special 2, while I'm charging my heavy attack, I'll just go ahead and use the Steadfast and just block, and we'll be fine. And I barely take any damage in the block, even with this Pierce active and 3 Arcade tokens, because we just have that much armor rating. So, next up, we're going to go fight Lumatrix. And again, this isn't one where like Arcade does anything necessarily to counter Luma, but he is reducing the amount of special attacks Luma can gain once he gets his debuffs active. And it's just a matchup that kind of works. I wouldn't say like do this all the time or anything, but like we're playing Ascended Rank 2 Arcade. I just want to have as much fun as I can. Not always show things that are just 100% practical in this video. We're just having fun. And then I'll go ahead and drop my Special 1 here, get another cloud going, so we place the poisons and the shocks and stuff, and then I'll go for another heavy attack here, which he doesn't punish me for, which is nice of him. And then he's going to start spamming Special 1s. I wish he dropped Special 2, pretty much always wish he would drop Special 2 when he's at 2 bars and stuff, but I can just go ahead and charge him a heavy out of nowhere, because I'll be able to auto block, as you can see right there. And then we'll go ahead and push him back in the corner, or close at least. I need to get him a little bit further back, and then drop my heavy here, and then drop it once more to place the cloud right by his feet. And then I think I'll throw the relic in the air, and he'll just take some poison damage and shock damage and die. And then we only have one more fight. This is against Dark Phoenix. Again, I showed this from last week's video with Serpent, and this is just another one where it's kind of silly that he works for this fight, but he does. And against Dark Phoenix, it's because you're placing poisons on her. If you place poisons on her, then she's going to reduce the duration of the Nova Flames. And she gets to a Special 2 in this fight. I think that might be like one of the only special attacks she uses, because we're going to keep her power relatively low in this fight. Again, of course, once we start to reduce her combat power rates, that attests a little bit to that. But yeah, we'll just go for heavies, and if she drops a special, then cool, whatever, I'm auto blocking it and stuff. So Gonna go ahead and hit her right here, and we'll go ahead and drop my special one. Special one, and then go ahead and go for a heavy bait. Push her back in the corner. We've got the cloud ticking, and then I'll charge my heavy to refresh it, and then looks like go for another special one, or actually block her special one first. And again, we just barely take any block damage because our armor rating is ridiculous. He has very high block proficiency in general, and yeah, there's not much he's able to do here to really mess with me. I'm gonna go ahead and drop another special one, and we will take some Nova Flame damage at the end, of course, because there's not really a way we can prevent that. But it's not that potent because we can utilize Inequity as well. She does have class advantage, of course, but again, we only lose about 11% health there. And that's the fight, and that's the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. It was definitely fun to make a lot of fights with Arcade on the beta. Looking forward to getting him ascended on the live server, and hope you enjoyed watching. I'll see you in the next video.